Consistency beats intensity because intensity is not sustainable. Let me explain. Using a personal experience. I love cycling. I cycle a lot, and over the past few weeks, I've always wanted to increase my cycling distance. So I started from like 5 kilometers to 6 kilometers to 8 kilometers to 10 kilometers to 14 kilometers. So it takes me about 50 minutes to an hour to cycle 14 kilometers, which I do. But however, because I was planning to lose weight, so fast, and I started doing 40 kilometers in the morning and 40 kilometers in the evening. Oh boy, I was worked out. I was so tired. Now, I was having too much intensity. The energy was there, the firing was there. 28 kilometers every day, 14 in the morning, 14 at night. But I was killing myself. I didn't have enough time to recover from the stress of, the workout, of using bicycle to climb a hill. It was a lot of work. However, when I now decided to, stop doing 14 kilometers morning and evening and just do 14 kilometers every day, it changed everything. I've been more consistent, I've been more effective, and my life is more balanced. Because when I do 14 kilometers in the morning, in addition to, little push-ups, little weight resistance, and also walking, counting steps per day, when I do that in the morning, the remaining part of the day, my body needs to relax and cool down. So instead of just forcing myself and doing 28 every day, which is not sustainable, which is causing me to burn out, I was doing 14 kilometers every day. And since I started doing that, I have been very consistent. I have been seeing more results. I'm having less burnout, because just think about it. The whole essence of trying to work out is to feel better. However, I was working out too much to the extent that I was now burning myself out. So you see how sometimes things can rebound, and that's the whole essence of consistency and intensity. Consistency for me was just keeping up with 1 hour every day, but intensity for me of doing 2 hours every day was not sustainable because my body needed to recover. It's a cycle that needs to go on. So that is why the saying of consistency beats intensity will always work. Intensity is not sustainable. Intensity uses your whole energy, and there is a limit to how your body can consistently handle stress. There's a limit to how the world can consistently handle stress. It's the same way with anything you do. Emotions, work. If you work too much and don't give yourself rest and family time, the intensity of work will burn you out. But however, if you are consistent with the little hours you have at work, mix it with time to relax with your family, you will be more productive. Same way with sports. Any athlete that work himself too much and don't create time to rest will burn out. If they are too focused on the intensity, you will burn out. Look at, for instance, Declan Rice and Saka during the World Cup, where a lot of them were saying Declan Rice was not feeling too well because of the burnout and everything. They were playing matches almost every week. They did not give their body enough time to recover, and that is why consistency will always beat intensity. Intensity is not sustainable. If you try to be too intense every time, you will burn out. Intensity is fine when it is needed, but it is not good to always be intense every time. If you are consistent, it will prevent you from being intense, because your consistency over time will compound. And when it compounds, you add naturally, you flow in abundance naturally than intensity. However, then when you need to be intense, then you can be intense, because being when you are consistent, your frequency of being intense reduces, and that is the whole essence. Reduce the amount of intensity you do. Try to be consistent. And to be really consistent comes with patience. You need to be patient, because consistency compounds. And when it compounds, you'll be in the moon. You will to be one of the best thing ever. The result is the best. If you apply consistency to every part of your life, from either fitness, to growing yourself, to developing, you will enjoy life. You will make the best out of life. Stay consistent, reduce less intensity. Thank you. Peace.